Hey, I just wanted to share an opening for this video. I overthink. Mom got to watch that happen in real time after church yesterday because I kind of watched church differently than most people. And I explained to her how I watched everybody, and she was like, "Oh, wow, you really do overthink." I'm paraphrasing, but I think you guys need to understand how I overthink. So it happened again this morning while I was watching the Today Show. I'm going to share with you how I overthink, and hopefully that will make me make better sense. All right, so that part I've already recorded. Here it comes. Hi. So I'm going to gripe. Can I get that out there? I'm realizing I'm a bitter person when it comes to how we act and interact toward people. I'm also an overthinker. I say that a lot, but I'm going to kind of tell you what happened today. It's going to be weird, but I'll share the video. So I was watching the Today Show. I usually keep it on when I'm working, kind of something to kind of, draw my attention. I always stop to pay attention to any of the steals and deals. Like Jill Martin does steals and deals. I forget what the other networks do, but they all have them. And they fascinate me because it's always interesting what it is that, to me, it's interesting what it is that people buy and why. But today's steals and deals, it was outside on the plaza on the Today Show. It was Craig Melvin. It was Jill Martin. And how my overthinking mind works, I can't just watch television, because as I watch television, I start picking up on things that most people are maybe not picking up on, or maybe seeing and they don't care, or I don't know. But here's how this works. So we are about 1:30 into this video. They were about 1:30 into their segment. I did go back and watch it on today.com, and I'll share that if you want to see the 7 minute 39 seconds, I think. It'll be in the comments. But so about this point, they move on from a facial needle massager thing to makeup. And Jill says, everybody knows that you need to change out your makeup bag ever so often. I forget what she says. And Craig turns to the crowd, and as men are wont to do, Craig, in my opinion, is a manly man who's been put on this plaza doing womanly things like talking about makeup. So this is where my mind starts to overthink. So I watch Craig turn around and kind of mock what it is that Jill Martin just said, because he looks at the crowd and he's really looking for some type of, again, my opinion, some type of alpha looking male that will side with him, that no, men don't know these things. So everybody doesn't know these things because men don't know these things. And so he finds in the crowd, and I'm watching this in real time, he finds an alpha male. There's a gentleman, he's standing there. He's got like this Carolina blue sweatshirt, which of course I went to Carolina, so I'm like, boom. He's got this darker blue hat that's got some type of, it looks like a Major League Baseball symbol here. So there's a code, and you all, like straight men, kind of know what that emblem means, what that means. So he sees this man, and the man standing there with his arms crossed, and Craig I watch him in my mind, I watch him kind of scan and pan the crowd, find someone with whom he can commiserate and kind of give this energy. Jill Martin, I love her because she just doesn't really pay attention to Craig as she is paying attention to Craig, and she's picking up on what it is that he's putting down. But Jill is very crafty. Again, all this is in my head. Jill is very crafty. And so they're talking about the makeup bag. She's talking about the importance of this stuff. And the very next thing she moves on to, so again, we're still like at about 2.5 minutes in. She moves on to hair scrunchies and a a pillow, but the pillowcase is for women who get out of the shower at night and their hair is still wet and they don't, it's like you lay on the pillow gets wet. This is a pillow that has on one side a built-in towel. On the other side, it's satin. And Craig, in his manly way, and again, this is just what men do. He is very uncomfortable with this idea. He's like, why would anybody even spend money on this? And you kind of watch his wheels, I kind of watch his wheels turning. And he just thinks that the towel idea is ridiculous. Then she turns it over and there's a satin side. And he thinks that is even more ridiculous. But at a point, his mind does click to, wait, women do like satin. This is a big deal. This is ingenious. And you can kind of watch that what I thought I saw was like this male consumerism, male capitalism, this idea of, wait, there is an idea here. This was a good idea. Maybe I shouldn't have mocked it. But he's still dealing with very feminine things that Jill has no problem presenting, but he does. So he takes the pillow and he walks over to, guess who? The alpha male that he made eye contact with earlier. And he's showing the alpha male, but then the alpha male has like maybe his girlfriend, wife, and maybe a daughter next to him. And so then Craig realizes while he's going over to mock this feminine thing, this gentleman is there with feminine things. And it means something to them. And then Craig kind of maybe in my mind realizes, oh, maybe I shouldn't have taken that stance. This is a thing. And so he gives the pillow to the gentleman's daughter who's like two people over to his right. Now, again, I'm watching a segment, but this is how my mind is seeing the segment. This will be a longer video than the actual segment because the segment was only like 7 minutes and 39 seconds. So he walks back up, right? And again, Jill is doing Jill's thing, but Jill, I feel, can tell she's been slightly mocked as a woman. So when he comes back over, the next thing she shows is that same company makes now a scrunchie, which his daughter will love, right? And his wife will love. And again, men, that's a girl thing, right? So she takes this thing and they have created this sleeve. It's like a 2-finger sleeve that's got a microderm material. If you just wet it, you can take off makeup. And she says, oh yeah, Craig, I just tried it over the weekend. I took off a smoky eye and it worked without a problem. You, Craig, should take your makeup off using this today. And then Craig, I watched him lie and say, I don't wear makeup. Because again, Jill Martin called him out on his masculinity. Now, let me share something with you. Everyone on television wears makeup. Everyone. It is not a male thing. It is not a female thing. Although it is predominantly used by women, all male actors, all male news people, everybody on TV wears makeup. Period. How hard is that to just swallow? We have, again, a facial tissue is a facial tissue, but we just decided that it's called a Kleenex, even though it's a facial tissue and Kleenex is a brand name. But if you ask me, give me a Kleenex, they know what you're talking about. We've done the same thing with makeup, but Jill called him out on it. And she's like, okay, all right. And the segment keeps going, right? The segment keeps going. And it's like this idea that in my mind, I'm watching this weird dance where men are being manly and this woman is standing her ground, because why do they even have to go through that? But what I'm telling you is that if you ever wonder how my mind works, that's how I watched a 7 minutes segment, 7 minutes and 39 seconds on the Today Show today. All of that started happening in my head in real time while I was watching a segment. So when I say over and over again that I overthink, that's just an example of how I'm watching absolutely everything at all times. And I'm processing it all. And I just feel like I'm completely sane, even though people probably think I'm a little manic. I'm starting to see life through a vision of, oh, yeah, that doesn't seem right. Let me call that out. Oh, yeah, I probably would have just let that slide. But no, let me not let that slide. Men wear makeup, right? They cover their flaws, right? Men wear girdles. They want to smush down their guts. Men compress their chest in the same way that they want women to lift them up, right? We have flaws that we want to cover up, right? But men wearing makeup, that's not a flaw. It's a tool to cover up a blemish. Stop making things about that's for girls, that's for boys. Because it's not based on anything other than we want to draw lines between male and female so that no one gets it confused. And then I, as an alpha male person, don't have to deal with difference. Or I, as an alpha female person, don't have to deal with difference. Think about that. It's just a difference. I mean, he's wearing makeup for his job, but he can't even say it out loud. He couldn't even be honest and say, I wear it for work. Because that's a society that we live in. That kind of pressure. All day, every day, on everybody. Think about that and go in peace.